where every cell tells a story. I am Farid, your own embryologist.
अब आप लेक्चर की लैंग्वेज को हिंदी में भी स्विच कर सकते हैं सेटिंग में जा करके।
Okay, so as we have already discussed about the count, how we will report the count. Now we will discuss about the motility. So how motility is counted, how the observation of motility takes place is quite complex as compared to count. Because count is something that number that you see, you will put the number as it is, and if you have any doubt or the particular protocol is saying that you have to take the two grids, two rows, and the average will be considered as the count. So you can also take the one row or you can take the two row, but the average will be considered as the count. Main number will be considered as the count. But this is not the actual case that follows in the case of motility. So in the case of motility, the equipments required will remain the same. So basically what we will require a pipette like this, and we will load the 10 microliter of semen sample into the macro chamber that I will not remove from the microscope as it is a very costly item. So the macro chamber will be required, and another requirement will be the cell counting chamber. This is the cell counter that we have discussed, that we have used in case of analysis for the count. Okay, so what happens in case of motility? So basically, what is motility? So when we talk about the motility, so motility is the ability of any cells to move from one point of origin to different point. So basically, motility is differentiated and categorized into the four different types in case of semen analysis. Yeah, sperm cells. So basically, sperm cells falls under the four categories at the time of motility. Yeah, motile cells can be of four types. So basically, what are those four types? Four types stands for, the one is rapid progressive, the second one is the slow progressive, the third one is the non-progressive, and the fourth one is the immotile. So immotile is basically comes under the zero motility. So basically, you have to understand the key difference between the non-progressive and immotile. So basically, these two sounds like the same, and these two looks like the same, but the slight difference makes them falls under two categories. So basically, motility, when we talk about the rapid progressive, so rapid progressives are the cells that is moving rapidly, as the word itself signifies. So rapid movement can easily be detected in microscope. You can easily watch the cells. Okay, this is the rapid progressive. Now this cells is moving fast, so this is the rapid progressive. Then another is the slow progressive. So the cells that you observe, okay, this particular cell is not moving as much fast as the rapid cells are rapid progressive cells are moving. So second will be considered as the slow progressive. So slow progressives will be the mediocre level of motile cells, motile sperms. Then the third one will be non-progressive. So how you will differentiate between the non-progressive and the last one, which is the immotile. So basically, when we talk about the immotile word itself signifies that the particular cell is not moving. And similarly, the surfacey level meaning of non-progressive falls under the same category. But when you look at the detailing of the term, non-progressive means something that is not in the state of progression. I'm repeating, something that is not in the state of progression, but it does not mean that it is not moving from its place. So it's not in a state of progression, but it's moving from its place. So the movement is that much slow that it looks like that it's not at all moving, but it's moving in its own place. So this is the difference between the non-progressive and immotile. So you have to be very experienced. You have to give a lot of time to understand the difference between these, because in the initial stage, the difference between the rapid progressive and slow progressive is easily differentiable. But the difference between the non-progressive and the difference between the non-progressive and slow progressive is also differentiable. But the difference between the immotile and non-progressive is not as simply differentiable. As a result, what happens? The andrologist or the reporting embryologist reported the semen sample, and the immotile cells being reported more. In actual, the cells were non-progressive. So you have to be keen in this picture of analysis. So basically, now again, how the analysis will be performed. So basically, the loaded sample will again, either again or with the same continuation, will be observed with the motility. So now, not so much difference is there. We will go with the same cell counter, and after analysis, after counting of the whole sample, whole grids, whole 20 grids, we will go for the weight.
It's the 21. I will keep putting this one, so it's 21, so the count will be 21. And if we have any doubt, like it might be not so uniform, the cells can be different in different grids, the count can be different, so we will count another grid and then we will divide it with the 2, so the average will always be considered as the main value. And if I keep, now how I will working with my fingers, so it will like that. I will just put, it becomes 22, it becomes 23, it becomes 24, it becomes 25. Okay, so that's how we will figure it out, the count.